What's up, FPV world? Old Man FPV here, coming to you with a prop test video this morning. We are going to be testing props specifically for racing. I've been racing for about a year now and really just enjoying the crap out of it. But I am curious, with all these new props coming out all the time, which ones are going to be the best for racing? So I've got 12 props that we're going to be pitting against each other during this prop test. We're going to be doing a drag racing day where we are going to just do a 150-foot track. It's full on from the starting block to the end of the track at full throttle. And we're going to check out our times. And we're also going to check out our efficiencies on how the props did from that distance. And then on day 2, we're going to do a tech track. And we're going to test how the props are doing around a technical track. And we're also going to be taking efficiency numbers from that as well. The ultimate goal is to compile enough numbers and enough know-how flying these props back to back to back to back to where we can come out with a solid number 1, 2, and 3. A good middle of the pack that may work okay, and then some props that you just really need to stay away from. They're not worth your money. In the end, I hope to save you guys some money and to give you guys some pretty good insight into what we're using and what we'll continue to use over time. We will be checking our prop weights. We'll be checking their efficiency, their durability, their bite in the corners, how quick they're going to pull you in one direction or another, their maneuverability, how quick they're going to corner, and they're just flatline speeds. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to our day 1 testing on the drag track. Well guys, we wrapped up day 1 of testing. Long and short of it, the winner for the day, the Dow 5050 biblade was by far the fastest, for sure. As far as the tri-blades went, I think both Bill and me believed that the GEMFAN 5152S was just amazing. Amazing. And this is a brand new, racer's perspective versus somebody who's been doing it for a little while. The RACEKRAFT 5038 biblade was the biggest loser of the day. No power. It shifted constantly in flight. It wanted to drift. But we're getting ready to go out here and do day 2 on the technical track. My only changes on day 2 is we added a GoPro to my Tokyo. So that is going to add about 70 or so grams to the flight, but I definitely wanted to get you guys some good footage of the track that we'll be running today. Got some very interesting results on day 1, but we'll save those for the end of the video. You guys stay tuned and let's check out what we got on the technical track for the day. Okay guys, we have finished 2 days of testing, and I had to add a third one in there because I was so torn with my top 2 props. We had to pit them head to head on the last day a couple more times. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a recap of all the props we tested and what I thought about them, and kind of give you guys maybe save y'all some money whenever y'all go to try some different props out, about what you may try, what you may not. So, starting off with number 12, our very, very slow friend, the RACEKRAFT 5038 bi-blades. On the first day, they took 11th in speed. Did take a second in efficiency, but probably because they had no power at all. And then on day 2, they took 9th in speed and 5th in efficiency. There's not much to say about them. They're slow, they're awkward, they're not worth the money. Don't purchase them. My next one on my list, number 11, is the HQ 5x4x3s. They took 7th in speed on the drag day and 6th in efficiency. And then they took 12th in speed and 9th in efficiency on our tech track day. The main reason for that was they were super responsive. I mean, to a point that I was having trouble controlling them compared to all the other props. For a freestyle application, I think these props would be amazing. But for a racing application, there comes a certain point where you can be over responsive and it's really kind of hurting you. And I really believe that's where the poor time came from on the tech track day. So for a racing purpose, I would not recommend those props. 10th place was the LUMENIER butter cutters. They took 12th in speed on the drag day and 4th in efficiency, and they took 8th in speed and 2nd in efficiency on the tech track day. They're a very efficient prop. They have pretty decent bite. They have pretty decent cornering. They seem to be fairly robust. They just lack power. When you need that burst of power on that straightaway to make sure you finish in first place, it's not going to have it. So keep that in mind. It's an okay prop, but it's not enough power. Not the power that I think it should have for a racing application. Number 9, I have the LUMENIER gate breakers. They came in on the drag test day. They came in 8th in speed and 9th in efficiency. And on the tech track day, they came in 6th in speed and 6th in efficiency. This may be an arguing point. A lot of people like these props. I personally felt like they were pretty sluggish. They felt heavy, and the props are on the heavier end. I didn't feel like they really had that really bump of power when you needed it. Maybe if I had a slightly stronger motor, it would have turned them a little bit better. I wouldn't have had that issue. But for my personal testing, I didn't care for them. And I don't know if I got a bad batch of props, but the absolute first impact broke a prop. I mean, it was on a tent pole and it broke the prop smooth off. So that's kind of an X in the durability slot on my book. So like I said, there may be some arguments on the gate breakers, but I had them at number 9. Number 8, the HQ 5x4.3x3s. They came in 9th in speed and 3rd in efficiency on day 1, and 2nd in speed and 3rd on efficiency on the tech track day. These are a really, really good prop. Really good prop. And so now you're going to ask me, why do you have them in 8th place? Well, for 2 reasons. On the Emax motors that I was using, first off, the hub is very small. Like, it's not very tall. So I had to use spacers, and I freaking despise spacers. Nobody should have to use spacers anymore. So that was one thing that really turned me off. And 2, these dadgum things were so tight on my motor shafts that I spent 3 times as long trying to get these dadgum things to go on there versus any other prop I had. So the reason that they're only in 8th place on my list, because this prop would have been 2nd or 3rd probably, is because of the ease of use. I don't have time. A lot of time when I do races, I'm running in the race as well as racing in the race, and I don't have time to spend 5 minutes, 8 minutes just changing props because they're so hard and so complicated to get on and off. So great prop, very efficient, very durable, a pain in the butt to use on Emax motors. So A lot of people are going to say, well, maybe you just shouldn't use Emax motors. You may be right, but nonetheless, that's where they ranked on this test. All right, number 7, the RACEKRAFT 5051s. They took 6th in speed and 8th in efficiency on the drag day, and 10th in speed, 12th in efficiency on the tech track day. I've never been a big fan of the RACEKRAFT. We did try them again, and the numbers were okay. They were kind of in the average group. My biggest problem with them that I've always had, and I had it again while we were flying them, is anytime I've had a gate strike with them, I start to get real bad vibrations in my camera. Like, I can see it. Not only can I hear it, but I can see it as well. And I can't figure out which prop's messed up. I'll look and look and look and look and look, and I can't figure it out. I end up having to change the whole set to try to get rid of the vibrations, and that gets expensive. So that is an issue I've had with RACEKRAFT since day one. That was one of the first props I ever tried, and I came back to it about halfway, about 6 months later, had the same issue, and I came back to it in this test and had the same issue again. So it's one of those things. It's not necessarily the way that it flies, but the pain in the butt it is the other things that goes into a prop that kind of turned me off on those. The next one I had, number 6, was the Dow 5050 biblade. On day 1, on the drag day, it took 1st in speed and 11th in efficiency. And on day 2, the tech track day, it took 7th in speed and 8th in efficiency. The efficiency is fairly poor with these. I think that has to do with the fact that it is such an aggressive pitch on a biblade, which you're having to spin that much faster to get your speed, but these things are lightning. If you have a straightaway, this is the prop for you. It is fast. So, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with the flying ability of them. They wasn't that far off, maybe like 4 seconds off my pace on the tech track day. So they're definitely doable. They're definitely flyable. If that's all you've got, go for it. Good props. This 6th place line right here at these Dow 5050 biblades, anything 6th place and above, I would recommend giving a shot. So the Dows definitely go into my giving it a shot category, but if you're looking for efficiency, these are not going to be the prop for you. Next on the list at number 5 is the GEMFAN 5152S's. I had them on the drag test day. I had them at 2nd on speed and 10th on efficiency. And on the tech track day, I had them 11th in speed and 7th on efficiency. The drag day, I had super high hopes for these props, man. They were locked in. They felt good. They felt, they performed awesome. And then on the tech track day, the feel wasn't right. And unfortunately, this is kind of a hard deal. They had average bite, they had average cornering, maybe slightly above average cornering, pretty decent speed, but nothing really popped for me personally when I flew them. So it was one of those deals that they just didn't shine. So they kind of got put in the middle of the pack. But the S version of the 5152s has taken care of all the durability issues of those props, and let me tell you, they're on the money. They are strong, they are durable, and you will not be disappointed in broken props. Number 4, the RACEKRAFT 5046s. Day 1, they got a 10th in speed and a 5th in efficiency, and day 2, they got a 4th in speed and 10th in efficiency. They're a lot like the 5051s. I did like them a little bit better. I felt like the float was a little bit more where I liked it. A little bit more float than the 5051s. Still the same problem though. You get a vibration and it's hard to find it, and it becomes a pain in the butt to chase it down. So it kind of turns me off to them. Even though my speeds were pretty decent on the tech track day with them, it was less than a second difference than the first place. So just take that for what it is. It was another non-flying thing that kind of turned me off, and it prevented them from being higher on the list. 3rd place, the Dow 5046s. They were 5th in speed and 12th in efficiency on day 1, and they were 4th in speed and 10th in efficiency on day 2. These are the props that I've flown forever, so I have a little bit of a bias towards them. The efficiency is poor on them. They always have been. I haven't ever really worried about that, but we're getting to a point where I'm going to be upgrading motors, and efficiency is going to start becoming a big thing for me, because getting into these 24, 25, 2700 kV motors, efficiency is going to start making a big deal. So I don't know if they're efficient enough for what I plan on going into. Super solid prop, solid bite, solid cornering. They're very robust. These props resist bending quite a bit, and that was something I noticed with my first and second place props. They're a little bit more flimsy, so while they don't break, they bend a little bit easier, and I did have a situation where it bent down and the arm was preventing that motor from turning, whereas the 5046s were a little bit stiffer and wouldn't allow that to happen. So if your ultimate goal is to stay in the air at all costs, and you know you're going to smack gates and you know you're going to mess up props, then maybe the 5046 is where you need to stop, because it's gonna keep you in the air longer. I mean, it's a very, very durable prop that's going to not bend and not break. It's solid. So that comes in number 3. Number 2 is going to be our Dow 5051s. On the drag test day, it took 4th in speed and 7th in efficiency. And on the tech track day, it took 1st in speed and 4th in efficiency. Amazing props. This was one of the ones I had to test again. And let me tell you what, I put about 10 packs through this prop, bent these props every way that I could, and just bent them back. Bent them back straight as I could. I crinkled one into a Z and straightened it back out, and it worked fine. No vibrations in the camera ever. I could hear them as it was flying by, but I couldn't see them, so I didn't really have that much of a problem with it. Motors weren't that hot when I brought it down. Good, solid prop. Definitely try it out. It's on the newer end of the spectrum. Give it a shot. Awesome power, awesome bite, awesome responsiveness, great cornering. It's awesome. They hit a winner with that prop for sure. My number 1 prop, the best one that I tested, hands down, it wins by a mile, is the HQ 5x4.8x3 V1S. On the drag test day, it took 3rd in speed and 1st in efficiency. And on the tech track day, it took 5th in speed and 1st in efficiency. And what I have to tell you, that 5th place time in speed was 0.6 of a second off of the 1st place time. So don't worry about that 5th place in speed on day 2. These props, I had so much trouble deciding which one I liked better. And on day 3, I raced the Dow 5051s for 10 batteries. And then I put the HQ 5x4.8s on my quad, and that very first run was faster. I loved it. It felt so much better. It felt so much, we were flying in about 30-mile-an-hour winds on that last day, and it just grabbed and pulled and bit and turned, and it just overpowered everything that was standing in its way, and did it in a manner that was more efficient than any other prop that we tested, which blew my mind, because how can you have that much power and that much responsiveness and it still be the most efficient prop that is on the lineup? That's incredible. There's nothing else to say. The data is important, guys, and the data I will link below, but it's about what feels good to you. I'm telling you, if you have not tried the HQ 5x4.8s, try them. If you have not tried the Dow 5051s, try them. If nothing else on this test matters, try those 2 props. They will blow your mind for racing. I'm to show you how convinced I am, I've got 40 sets of Dow 5046 props that I will be trading for HQ 4.8s. They are gone. My entire supply is gone, and I'm going to go get all HQs. They have changed my mind and made me a believer. So you guys consider that whenever you're looking for props in the future for a racing application. I hope that this video has helped you guys maybe pin down which props you would like to use or which props you would like to try. Maybe you can cross some off your list that aren't worth it, or that maybe just don't sound like they're a fit for you. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask below. Please subscribe. We're going to do a lot more of these testing videos and review videos in the future. And if you have any videos that you'd like to see, just please give me shoot me a message and let me know, and I'll be sure and get it added. So for now, it's Old Man FPV signing off. You guys have a good day and keep flying.